Okay. So welcome everyone again to the class. Today we are talking about we are going to be talking about storytelling mainly, right? But we're not just talking about regular storytelling, but we are going to be talking about storytelling that is told through electronic media, right? Okay, so I think we better let me start sharing my slide. Okay, digital storytelling. Okay, so digital storytelling, or DST as it is abbreviated, right? It's the topic that we are going to mainly talk about today. DST it's a really I mean, storytelling has been quite popular. It's a popular form of communication for a long time, right? But then again, it became much more popular over the past 20 years, and I think especially in the past 10 years, when people started talking about storytelling, like they started offering courses about storytelling. People would just have people come into their company to do storytelling training and things like that. So, you know, it's become more and more important in the current world, right? And then today we are going to be looking at that as well. So let's have a look at the outline of the talk today. So again, it's going to follow quite a similar format with what we did last week. So first, we are going to define DST, you know, what the storytelling is. And then we're going to look at different elements of DST, you know, like what would qualify as DST and so on. Then we look at potentials of DST in language learning. Okay, so it just so I mean, DST in and of itself is not a tool that is created for language learning, right? It is just a way to tell story. But I mean, when we use it as a tool to learn the language, right, to learn the English language, there are just a lot of potential that language learner like us can make use of. Finally, we will look at some of the challenges and concerns regarding digital storytelling in language learning. Okay? So that's the first part, and the first part will probably take about less than 1 hour. And then in the second part, I will have some activity for you to do. There are so many digital storytelling software that can be used, right? But today I've chosen one for you to try out for yourself. Okay. All right. Okay, let me see. I'm recording this, right? Okay. Cool. Okay, so let's define digital storytelling. Okay, and so before the word digital, right? It's just storytelling. Okay, and if you look at these pictures, okay, these pictures take you back perhaps, you know, 1,000 years. Not 1,000, maybe too long. Take you back a few hundred years in the old days, where people, I mean, on the left hand side, you would see this is perhaps you know, a picture of a grandfather telling story to their grandchildren, and on the right hand side is the story of perhaps a community leader telling story to people in the community. So storytelling is, you know, has been a big part of how people communicate, and we all grow up listening to different types of story, right? From from your parents, from your friends, from teacher like me. I bring different stories to tell you, and you bring different story to tell me. So in many ways, storytelling is a really big part of our conversation, actually, just because when you talk to people, in many ways, you also tell stories. And so just go back to storytelling, right? Storytelling is considered the oldest form of education and has been a form of communication throughout human history, right? Started back in the day when there were no recording tools, right? So people passed on the story through telling oral story to other people, to the next generation, right? And I think it's only a few hundred years ago where we could learn how to document it, how to put it into cave and paper, and now just in different media format right now. But in the old days, it was basically just telling story, right? Passing on the history through storytelling. And in the old days, again, storytelling was also used as a way to educate children so that they became literate. So they learn how to speak, they learn how to talk through the act of listening to story told by their parents, their grandparents, and their and people in their community. So it's just a really big part of education in general, and it's a really big part of learning a language in general. I think it's so much more than we are aware of, really. So I mean, it's because now we all go to school, get proper schooling and things like that. So we might just forget, how much of what we know right now actually came from storytelling told to us by, various different people. And today we are going to go deeper into that together. Okay. Right. So digital storytelling. Okay. So that's the old form of storytelling. Now when it becomes digital, right? So it's the practice of using computer and multimedia tools to tell story, right? So again, it's a combination of computer and multimedia tools. So not just one tool, right? It often involves several digital tools that you use to tell story. So as far as the technicality is concerned, DST combines traditional storytelling with various types of the new media. And when we talk about the new media, we often talk about videos, we often talk about audio recordings, we often talk about visual images, and so on, right? So it's just various types of the new media. And the new media is something that we call multimodal. So it's not just looking at the picture, it's not just listening to something, it's a combination of both. Okay. Sorry. All right. So let's continue. Now, just to get you to know a little bit more about storytelling, right? So I have this short video clip for you to look at, and this, I think this video there were so many clips all online about storytelling, but I think this one is is the best one that actually captures what DST actually is, and it actually outlines elements that you need to include when you are creating DST video. Okay. All right, so let's have a look at this together.
What is digital storytelling? Digital storytelling uses multimedia tools to bring narratives to life. Digital stories are versatile and can cover a wide variety of topics, such as explaining a concept, reflecting on a personal experience, retelling an historical event, or making an argument. Digital stories are typically videos that combine audio, images, and video clips to tell a story. Even though we recommend that digital stories be 2 to 3 minutes long, a lot of work goes into making one. First, you will need to brainstorm what you want your digital story to be about. Once you've determined the purpose of your digital story, the next step is to create a script and a storyboard. When writing a script, you will need to decide what you want your digital story to accomplish. The script and storyboard will lay out exactly how the digital story will unfold. The next step is to create your video. Depending on your script and storyboard, you may need to record your voiceover, gather or create images or video clips, and choose music and sound effects. Finally, put all the elements together and enjoy the final product. If you're interested in learning more about these steps, check out the guides and videos that we have linked in the description. So, why create a digital story? Creating a digital story is an engaging way to share information that requires creativity, self-direction, and experimentation with new technologies. Need help? Email library@uofguelph.ca, chat, or drop by.
All right, okay.
What is digital storytelling?
Okay, so as you can see, right, when we talk about storytelling or DST in this context, it's normally not very long. Okay, if you look at most of the DST clips available online, they are normally just 2 to 3 minutes long. I think the maximum would be like 5 minutes. Okay, it should not really go over that, because otherwise it will get too long for people. And part of that is because the goal of DST is not just to listen to the full story. It's just to get people to really engage with that particular part of the story that you want to tell. However, as the video clip mentioned, right, although it is only a few minutes long, it requires a lot of effort that you need to put into it, because to create one digital story, it often involves so many steps, right? From brainstorming to writing storyboard and to actually producing the digital story. And so there are so many steps involved in creating one story, right? Okay, so this is just to introduce you to the concept. Now we will move on to look. So now this is the concept of DST in general. Okay, so I start very broad today, talk about storytelling in general. Now I will perhaps narrow it down a little bit. Okay, so when we talk about digital stories, it can be anything. Okay, it can be anything. Any kind of story can be told, okay, in the storytelling format, right? However, when we look at how digital storytelling has been used in educational setting, okay, there are not many topics, okay, that people have used. So they actually categorize the types of story that people use in educational context into 3 categories. Okay, the first one is, why do I have page here? Sorry, shouldn't be. Personal narratives, right? So the first one is you are narrating the story about yourself. Okay, to narrate คือแบบ to เล่าเรื่องใช่ไหมครับ to you are narrating the personal story about yourself. It can be narrating about like your childhood memory. It can be narrating about your best experience, the happiest day of your life, and so on, right? The second one is stories that inform or instruct. Okay? So basically, you are creating a digital story that tells people how to do something. It's like you are telling people how to what? Yes, I'm just trying to think of something random here. How to make a cup of coffee. But you would do it step by step, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay. And the last one is the story that examine historical event. So it's a story that tells about the past events in the history. Okay, so these are the 3 main categories of digital stories that have been used only in educational settings, right? But beyond education, I think there are so many more. But I'm not saying that you need to be restricted to just these 3 categories, right? It is also very open for you as well to do it in many other different formats. Okay. So yeah, this is just to give you more examples. So this means that DST may be used for various topics, such as demonstrating how to build a bookshelf. Just you want to show people how to build a bookshelf by themselves, then you would create a story, and it just walk them step by step from the first step to the last step. And it can also recount events from history. Just perhaps you want to talk about World War II. You want to talk about, I don't know, just so many historical events that you can talk about. Or you can narrate your personal life event, right? You can perhaps like create a video clip narrating your feeling when you first got into this university. Okay, whether you like it or not. And perhaps you can also create just the story of your parents, just like using video clips and things like that. And I mean, if you have been, and I think just to put this into context for you, right? If you have been to wedding receptions, I think the way that they create presentation for the bride and groom, that's a really prime example of storytelling that tells personal life. Just walk through how they met, and then how they fell in love, and how they got married, and so on. Okay. Now, okay, now we looked at the concept of DST in general. We narrow it down a little bit to the DST in education, right? Now we are going to look at the features of DST. In other words, if you were to create a digital story, what would you need to include? And by definition, DST consists as by definition, DST often comprise a set of multimodal features. Okay, so multimodal comes from multi modes, right? So it's not just one mode, it's several modes combined together. So multimodal features and elements are included. So what you normally have would be like text, typing like text, visual image like photo, pictures, audio narration. You can record your voice, and it can be just voice, or it can be voice over the picture. Okay, so there are so many possibilities here. You can include music and sound to support your digital story. You can also add pre-made video clips into the storytelling as well. You can do screenshots, from your computer. Like, for example, just if you talk about games and website, you can do a screenshot from that, and other digital media. Okay, just it can be, the possibility is endless. Just you can include pretty much anything into this. And as I mentioned, they are normally very short in length, okay? So not long at all, about 2 to 3 minutes long, okay? About 2 to 3 minutes long. Okay. All right. Okay. So what I am going to show you here. Okay. So I'm gonna send you the link as well, just so you can browse around this. Okay. So this one is the Story Center. Story Center. It's an website that focuses on storytelling. Okay. So it just it offers workshops and things like that on storytelling. But I think what I would like you to have a look around is different types of videos that they produce. And this is not just the center produce, right? It is created by regular people, and then they sent it to this Story Center. I have one that I want to show you, and it actually from a Thai person. Just to get you to know the feeling of how to create digital story and what the end product might look like. Okay, let's have a look at this again. So it's going to be like 2 to 3 minutes long, I guess. Okay.
I have been volunteering since high school. I like to help. So last year, when my good friend Yen asked me to do breast cancer prevention workshop for the Thai community, I agreed. Besides, I need to learn to do the self-exam on myself to show people how to do it. The lump was the size of peppercorn. I was a single mom with no health insurance, so I asked Yen if I could get a free mammogram through her organization. The doctor said I need a biopsy. I was worried. But my first concern has always been my son, Seth. He joined the Marine Corps as soon as he turned 18 to be in the front line protecting his country. I was upset because it was the most dangerous. Why couldn't he join the Air Force instead? I still remember the moment when the doctor told me the result. I was smiling, and then my mind went blank. My best friend was there. All I could hear was her asking questions. Stage 1 breast cancer, the aggressive type. It's not guaranteed that the cancer cell would be gone even they remove the tumor. It could come back in my breast or anywhere else. I didn't know who was going to die first, me or my son. We drove home quietly. I looked at Seth. I tried to gather my thoughts. When we got home, I sat him down and told him. He broke down. Seeing my 18-year-old boy cry like that, I couldn't take it anymore. In October, I went in for surgery. When I got home, Seth was waiting at the front gate for me, something he never did before. I wrapped my arms gently around him. No words, just tears and tears and tears. Recently, I find out that Seth joined the Marine, so that if anything happened to him, I would be taken care of by the GI Bill. I was stunned. That was 6 months ago. I still worry that the cancer may come back. I still worry about Seth leaving for the Marines in August. But every day I wake up and try to take care of something. My dogs, my family, my community, and myself.
All right. So, I mean, as you can see, right, the nature, okay, I would say the nature of storytelling that people create is usually emotional. Okay, so it is, just to, it is, no, what it normally does is it makes people feel something after watching it. Yeah, so it's not just a plain story of like telling them to how to walk to school and things like that. It normally involves a lot of emotion, especially when you are using the personal story life, okay, to just tell story. Okay, so just, I mean, when you use your personal life events to tell story, that's normally quite emotional in terms of, how you talk about your family, how you talk about your life at that time. And if that particular life event is so important that you can create into a story, it normally has a lot of emotions attached to that. Okay. All right, so this is the example of DST, right? And as you know, it's not long at all. It's not long at all. This video in particular was only about like 2 to 3 minutes, and then it covers, the story that she wants to tell. And as you might observe, right, when you talk about digital storytelling, it's not just telling what I was looking for, listener and watchers, everything. Okay, it's just telling the important point, okay, that you would like to communicate. Okay. All right, let's move on from this. Okay, now we looked at DST in general. We looked at DST in educational setting in general. Okay. Now we are going to look more specifically at DST in language learning. Okay. And I think a lot of many courses that you have taken, perhaps both in high school and here, may have asked you to create some sort of video presentations, right? And that is a form of DST. Okay, that is a form of DST, right? So when we looked at the role that DST may have to play, in language learning, we can probably say that DST is frequently considered an effective tool. So it's an effective tool for developing a wide variety of skills for students. Speaking, writing, of course, critical thinking, and also problem solving. The first two are quite language based, right? So speak, because you have to record your voice, and then writing, because in many ways you have to write a script, you have to do the planning and things like that. So it's not like explicit or direct practice that you have, but it's more like an indirect practice that you can have with the in the process of creating a DST. Also, DST is useful for students with different learning styles. Okay, people learn very differently. I'm not sure if you are aware of that yourself. Some people like to learn by listening to the lecture. Okay? Some people learn so much better when they see the picture. Some people learn so much better through reading. So it really depends, okay, on your learning style. Okay? And with digital storytelling, it allows students who have different learning style to learn in a different ways. Some people may prefer to create. Actually, a podcast is also one form of DST as well. And just to learn through listening. Some people like to learn. Some students might want to learn through looking at the picture, or combination of sounds and pictures. And with digital storytelling, it also allows you to learn through text as well. Okay. So again, and with DST, it also allows students to engage more with the task that they are doing, right? Because you need to put a lot of effort into it, and then it just engage people to actually work on the project. I mean, as a producer, you are engaged with the story you create, right? As the listener or the watcher, I mean, if you want to use storytelling as a learning tool, right, just watching other people's story, it can also keep you quite engaged with the content or with the videos as well. When we look more specifically at some of the language features, okay, if you work on your digital storytelling, most of the time you would normally improve the use of past tense. Why past tense? And I think it's clear, right? When you have to narrate your life events, it's normally something that happened in the past, right? Normally something that happened in the past. So with that, it means that, yeah, so you really need to talk about your past events, and you are forced to use past tense. Okay, and this is just one example, right? Just one example of the language feature that you can improve. Okay. And there are so many other features as well. I mean, it also depends on the types of videos that you are creating as well. So I mean, if you talk about your personal story in the past, I mean, of course you would develop your use of past tense. But if you talk about how to do something, right, you may develop like how to use connectors like first, second, and third, and next, and so on. So it really depends on the types of videos that you are creating, because that would just sort of brings to a different, I mean, force you to use different language features. Okay. Okay. Now, when we look at the potential of DST in language learning, so there is a huge potential here. Well, first of all, if you look at the picture here, right, this is the digital storytelling process. So in order to create one digital story, it involves so many processes, right? So the first one would be coming up with idea, write proposal, okay. Just the second one would be, just to do research, just to learn, to explore more. The third step is to write script. I'm sorry, this isn't so clear. The fourth one is to create a plan, a storyboard, right? The next one would be to collect image, to create audios and videos. This next step would be to put it all together and then to share. And then after you share it, you also get feedback from the perhaps the teacher, and also can be your peers, right? So with that in mind, because it involves so many steps and it's basically a process learning, you can, I think, the process of learning from the first step, from creating a storyline to making video to creating subtitles to working with other people and many more, right? You can learn a lot through the process, right? You can learn a lot about the language that you need to use. You can learn a lot about how you can put story together, how you can arrange the story together in a coherent manner that people can understand you. You can learn from working with people, and you can learn from getting feedback, okay, and giving feedback to other people as well. When we look at the language, right, this is a sample of a storyboard. Okay, when you want to create a digital story, you may need a storyboard, right? And this is what a storyboard might look like. Okay, so in the process of creating a storyboard, I think it's a good way to practice speaking and writing. So you get to practice speaking when you record it, and you get to practice writing when you write a script. And it also enhances creativity, right? You are sort of forced to be creative by thinking about the ideas and the new stories and things like that. And it's also develop your sentence complexity. I mean, because when you write a script for a digital story, it has to be written in a certain way, right? It's not like writing an essay. You are writing a script for you to read aloud. So it's normally, the language is normally more beautiful than a regular piece of writing. So just you get to improve your sentence complexity as well. And the last one is you also get to improve vocabulary. Okay, so, and why do I put a question mark here? So there shouldn't be a question mark. Right, so you would normally get to improve your vocabulary as well. So because you need to think of the words that you want to use to describe it in the I think in the most precise way possible, right? Because you want to be able to communicate to people very clearly. Okay, now there are also some challenges and concerns as well. There are so many software that you can use to create digital story, or you don't even have to use one. You just need to have your iPhone or Samsung or whatever brand. So I'm not in favor of any brand, just to create it. So the fundamental challenges, not for us, but perhaps for many other students, is you need access to proper computer and the necessary software. Some software are not free. Okay, so it means that you may have to pay to use it. And it also requires a level of technical expertise. So it's not something so easy. I mean, it's not so difficult to do, but it's not overly easy, right? So it needs some technical ability. Just at least you need to know how to put video together, how to create video, how to record it. Okay, but I think it's not the problem with the new generation now, especially after the COVID-19 as well. And another thing is, yeah, when you create a story, right, it's not something that you can do in 5 minutes. Okay, it involves a lot of steps, as I mentioned, right, from planning to creating the story. Okay, so it involves a lot of time and energy that you have to put into creating the story, and you might end up looking like this boy, getting really tired. Okay, right. So this is the main lecture. So I think the goal of the first part is just to get you to know, okay, more about the concept of DST in general, okay, the concept of DST in general, and DST in education. And now it's DST in language learning, as we are a language major student. Now, the next step, the next thing that I would like you to do, is to go into more hands-on activity. Okay. There is a website that I would like to introduce to you. This website is called VoiceThread. Okay. As I mentioned, there are so many platforms that you can create DST, right? VoiceThread is one of them, and I think it's quite user friendly. It's quite easy to use. So I am going to show you just how to create story on VoiceThread, as well as I will ask you to play with the website and also to create a really short story today. Okay. So VoiceThread OVT here is the website that is created for people to share their story. So you can create your story, put it there, and then you can also receive comments and feedback from other people. Okay, so it's not just like a static video that people come and watch. It's a type of video that people can also add comment. And it's not just adding comment like on YouTube when you add comment below. It's actually comment, you can add comment to a very specific part. Like, okay, this part, I like this part. You can circle it. You can do a lot of things with it. Okay. So it has what we call a multimodal feature. So it's not just one mode, right? So it's really multimodal. So it involves so many features. Okay. So now I'm going to share this with you. Let me stop sharing for a bit. Okay, so can you all go to this link, voicethread.com, voicethread.com. And I think the first step is for you to create an account first. So I just perhaps give you like a few minutes to create an account. And then once you have that, then we will come back and start working on the digital story together. Okay, so perhaps I give you 5 minutes to just work out how you can create the account. Just if I were to show you, then it would be just like this. So it should take you to this website, and you click register, and then first name, and then email, and then things like that. delete this phrase. Okay, have you all managed to register? If you have finished, can you type 1 into the chat if you have finished, so I know that we can proceed. Yeah. Okay, I think a few of you have finished. What about the rest? Have you finished? Okay. Cool. Okay, thank you. I think most of you have finished registering, right? Now we're going to have a look at the website together. Okay. So basically, when you go into the main page of the website, right? So we have home, we have browse, okay, and browse is just to look at tutorials and things like that, and you can have a look at this in your own time as well. Okay, just it specifically tell you, you know, like how to create, okay, how to add comment, how to share, and things like that. It's just so many aspects, okay, of creating a digital story. Now, I think what we are going to focus on today is how you can create, okay, how you can create different types of how you can create a DST using different types of media, right? So when you are here, when you're on the website, if you're on the website now, then you would click on the word create, right? And then what you would do is you would just add media here. You can add media from my computer, and then it will just, you know, show this. You can add media sources, okay, like from Google Drive, from many other places, okay. You can add audio recording, and you can start recording, okay. Just click start, and then you can start recording like this. Stop recording now and cancel. You can add a webcam photo. Oh, okay, but there is no face in this, so I just delete it first. Yes, so I mean, you can add so many things, right? You can also add URL just to add a link, okay, into this. Just to show you a few, perhaps just how to create a very simple story. And also you can add a file from your computer. You can just drag and drop it here. Let's say here. Okay. This morning I took 3 pictures. Okay, this morning I took 3 pictures of my morning routines, right? I took 3 pictures of my morning routines. So okay, I start from coffee, and then I went for a run, and then, you know, I came into my office to prepare for the class. Okay, so now you have 3 pictures, okay, in your story. Now you have 3 pictures in your story now. Okay. Now, so with this, it just shows you the sequence of how the picture would appear. Okay, it shows you the sequence of how the picture would appear in your slideshow. So VoiceThread wouldn't give you perhaps like a YouTube video clip. No, it's more like a slideshow that you can have picture, videos, pictures, videos, narration, and different things putting together into a series of a long slideshow, right? Now, I also recorded 3 videos this morning. Okay, so I can add more media to this, and then, okay, 3 videos here. Okay. I mean, I first took the picture and I record my voice, okay, on the picture. So it's just, okay, so put it up one after another. Okay. Okay, so this is what my storyboard looked like. So I start from having a picture here and then narrating the picture, and then I have the picture, narration of the picture, narration of the picture, and then okay, it's automatically saved, okay, in your VoiceThread, so you can just go back here. Okay, and then I need to okay, add title, Pat morning routine. Okay. Okay, automatically advance to the next slide after I don't know, 10 seconds, let's say. Okay. So the thread setting is where you can set, like, after the first slide, then you would want your slideshow to move to the next slide after, like, how many seconds. It depends on you. It can be 5, it can be 10, can be 20. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's go back and then let's play this. Is it 10 seconds?
This is the very first thing that I do every morning, which is making a cup of coffee.
Okay, and then move on.
Then after having my coffee, then I normally go out for a run. And I don't run for a long period of time. I only run for about 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
After that, then I normally start working at around 9 o'clock in the morning. But since I'm still working from home now, so this is my office.
Okay, so I mean, this should just give you perhaps some ideas about how to. So VoiceThread is not, it's not going to be like a video that you create on YouTube, right? It's more like a slideshow that you narrate the story from beginning, okay, to the end, using different media sources. It can be picture, it can be just a story, it can be just video, it can be just a static picture. Now it's not just like that. If you go back to just this, you can also add your voice into the picture as well. You can add your voice into the picture like this. When you want to when you want to add your voice into the picture, you basically click on the word comment here, and then here, and then you will start recording your voice into the picture. Okay, so this is my cup of coffee. This is the coffee that I normally drink, which is Nescafe, and that's it in the picture. Nothing else I can talk about. And you can click stop recording, and you can upload it, save it, and then once you play it again. Okay, so this is my cup of coffee. This is the coffee that I normally drink, which is Nescafe, and that's it in the picture. Nothing else I can talk about. Yeah, so it's a really bad storytelling, right? But I mean, it just it's just to show you how you can perhaps use this perhaps website to create a very simple slideshow, that tells a story. A very simple slideshow that tells a story. So I think this is, it's a pretty simple and straightforward one. You can add as many media sources as you would like, and you can also voice over your picture by adding it into the comments, right? Okay. You can also add the text, right? Okay, this is my coffee. Oh. Okay, so if you look at that again. Okay, so this is my cup of coffee. This is the coffee that I normally drink, which is Nescafe, and that's it in the picture. Nothing else I can talk about. And then it would just appear. This is my coffee, right? Like just like that. Okay. So as you know, once you upload the picture into it, then you can annotate the picture, and you can also upload things like if you have like sounds that you would like to do, you can upload it and things like that. Okay, so I mean, this should give you a rough idea of what the digital storytelling might look like on VoiceThread. So now what I would like you to do in this class is for you to create a very short slideshow using VoiceThread. It can be a very short slideshow about anything. Okay, it can be about your morning routine. It can be about any experience or anything that you want to tell us, right? So now it's 10:40. Now it's 10:40. I will give you perhaps a 15 minutes break along with you starting working on your slideshow, and then perhaps I say I give you 20 minutes. Okay? I give you 20 minutes from now until 11 o'clock, and then when we come back at 11 o'clock, then I would like to see some of your slideshow as well. Again, it doesn't have to be well structured, well detailed slideshow. Just play around with the software, and then just share with us what you have got. Okay, so now it's 10:40. I give you 20 minutes, including the break. Okay, so just to create this, and then at 11 o'clock, we will come back and we'll have a look at this together. Okay. Okay, so we will come back at 11 o'clock with a very short slideshow. Right.